Hey guys, my guest today is an American professional stuntman and actor known for working on the WB/CW drama series One Tree Hill from 2003 to 2012 and the CW series The Vampire Diaries from 2009 to 2017. He also worked as a performer with Marvel Cinematic Universe and DC Comics, and we're going to hear all about his life as a Hollywood stuntman after this. MJ Wolfe here, and
welcome to the Wolfe Den.
Woo! So that's exciting. I like the way that sounds.
Wow, love to be in the Wolfe Den.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are in the Wolfe Den.
What's up? Glad to be here, MJ.
Hosted by MJ Wolfe.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Wolfe Den. With me today is stuntman, actor, and someone who has a much cooler beard than me. His name is Preston Corbell. Preston, welcome to the show. You're officially in the Wolfe Den.
What's up, MJ? I got to confess, I actually went on a dark hole and found your show, and man, I'm impressed by the production value, but the interviews are great, so definitely happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. You're our first stuntman here on the show. We've had a couple actors before, but you're our first stuntman. So before we get into your life as a stuntman and what you've done in the past, we're going to do our 5 faves segment where we quiz you a little bit, get to know you. These are your 5 favorite things. And we're going to start with the most important one, your favorite movie.
Man, my favorite movie. I'm going to break it up to drama and comedy. I think Goodfellas for drama and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for comedy.
Hey, can you do a Goodfellas accent? You know what I'm talking about?
Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
I can't, but you can do one as I can tell.
I'm a Northeast Italian, so I had no choice. All right, moving on. How about your favorite band or musician?
It's Collective Soul. Been a huge fan since the 90s, so definitely Collective Soul.
Okay, I'm a 90s fan, Pearl Jam. I just started listening to Soundgarden. I don't think I know much about Collective Soul.
You got to, man. They were like the most played band in the 90s. They had like 7 number 1 hits. They're kind of the band we all know the song Shine. But they have a whole bunch of hits.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm going to have to add them to my gym's little music cycle there. Cool. Sure. All right, Collective Soul, that's on the note. And now we'll go on to food. You're on the death row. You've got one final meal. What's it going to be?
I'm a Southern boy, man. I'm going to have to say chicken fried steak, yeah.
Oh, chicken, that's legit. Yeah, I'm in Colorado, so we don't have good chicken fried steak here. I used to live in South Carolina, and there it was awesome, but here they try it, and the best you can get is black-eyed pea.
Where did you live in South Carolina?
Greenville.
Okay, cool. I spent a lot of time in Wilmington.
Oh, okay, that's where a lot of filming goes on, which we'll get to. And then we've got 2 more faves for you. Your favorite travel spot?
I was lucky to spend a lot of time in the UK, but I think my favorite one was Greece.
That's where it's funny. Everybody says Greece when I ask them that. It's like when I ask that question, it's like 2/3 of the people say they want to go to Greece or they've been to Greece. So I think it's something I have to put on my list as well. And finally, favorite hobby?
Geez. I would say writing. I'm always writing something, so definitely writing. It's a good outlet.
Okay. Let's move on to the good stuff now. So tell us kind of about how your background, how you got started as a stuntman.
Man, I actually started modeling and acting when I was a young teenager and kind of did that, did bit stuff as a teenager. But then I got into some cool movies like Cabin Fever and a really cool show called Reno 911. And I was able to start in kind of as a stand-in and then work my way up into doing stunts. And that those 2 projects led into One Tree Hill and Vampire Diaries. And Eastbound and Down, and kind of snowballed until 20 years of really awesome stunt stuff that I can look back and be pretty proud of.
Did you just slowly shift over to stunts, or did you go to any kind of training?
No, I went. Well, actually, I was recruited for D1 basketball, and then I ruptured my Achilles, which made me kind of change my whole path in life there. I can't do basketball anymore. And I decided, hey, I'm going to try this movie thing out. And I did a stand-in on Cabin Fever and just went right into stunts.
Okay, now I watched your demo reel. There were a few shots of you playing basketball, I believe. Am I correct?
Yeah, One Tree Hill, I was on there, Chad Michael Murray's stunt double and photo double. So I was on there multiple seasons, and that show's based around basketball. So that's kind of how I integrated my past into stunts.
I can see you got a pretty good shot there. I'm 6'2", but I can barely even touch the net. Even when I was younger, I never had any hops. I have pretty weak legs. I skipped leg day, unfortunately. So tell me, do you also pursue acting as well, or are you just focusing on stunt work at this time in your career?
So I think if you want to have a long career, you're going to have to do a little other stuff. I mean, there's not just a ton of stunt work you can do every single day and make a living. So you're going to kind of have to fill that time. So, I was doing stand-in and photo double work, but I definitely was plugged in. I met contacts and just plugged in for day player roles on some shows. And I got to do a cool show called Crisis. I did a really fun show called Glory Days. I did stuff on Reno 911, Veronica Mars. So I did some really cool stuff acting-wise. And that really was kind of interesting to learn that aspect of it. So when you're a stuntman, you understand what the actor's going through. So it was kind of a learning process, but definitely doing a lot of different things gives you more appreciation for the art of film.
Now, One Tree Hill, it's a kind of an older show, but I've got a clip here of you getting hit by the car. Now, that is actually your body rolling on the ground like that?
That is an actual practical stunt of my body rolling on the ground.
Did you get hurt doing that?
Well, when you're doing something like a show, that was a long-running show, so there's really only like one or two stuntmen and a coordinator. So, stuff's thrown at you every day. You don't know what you're going to do. It's not real planned out. So getting hit by a car, unfortunately, on that show was kind of common. So, yeah, I had done it before.
Wow. And so of all the stunts you've done, what was the most, I'd say, dangerous you've been a part of?
Dangerous. I've done a lot of car stunts, which I love. The most dangerous, which is not my favorite, is getting set on fire. It's kind of a process of a whole hour of getting prepped for it, and just getting a whole bunch of stuff all over your body and then suits and stuff. Again, it's just an hour process, so you're freezing cold in that hour, and then you're ready to just get that warmth of the fire is all you want to hurry up and get done. But that's probably the most dangerous. Also, jumping off buildings and stuff definitely could land wrong. A big thing in stunts is you need to know how to land and roll. But it's all with experience. So the more you do it, the more you're great. And you just kind of do whatever's thrown at you.
And speaking of experience, check out this, guys. Look at Preston's IMDb here. It's scrolling in front of you right now. Look at just his credits are unbelievable. I've been acting for 20 years, and I don't have near the credits that you have. This is just phenomenal to see all these credits. And let me ask you, over the years on all these shows, have you endured any kind of injuries?
Yeah, definitely. The worst one, I was working on a show in New York, a Marvel show, and we were doing wire work. I didn't do a lot of wire work at that point. I love practical stunts, and I worked older TV. So the wire work was kind of new to me, and the wire retracted in between a scene that I wasn't prepared for and threw me about 10 feet on my left hip and just ripped muscles in my back. Oh. And I just kind of laid there for like a couple seconds, and the stunt coordinator came on. He's like, "You good?" And that's the thing with stunts, man. You were there to take the tough beating. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I finished that day, and I went to the hotel room, and I was just crying all night because I was in so much pain. But man, I've broken my collarbone, wrist a few times. My feet have been broken, torn ligaments. I got all kinds of injuries all over my body, torn a pec, all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely in my older age right now. It's definitely, you wake up and realize what hurts the most. Where am I putting that heating pad and that ice pack on? And you move forward. But definitely injuries is part of it.
Okay, now I actually just had an audition, and I've never done a fight scene in my life, but I had an audition just 2 days ago, and it says I get punched in the face and hit over the back with a shovel. Now I'm a pansy, so when I get to set, what can I expect out of a fight scene, or what do they expect? What do they expect out of an actor who doesn't have stunt skills?
Sure. So hopefully you got a good coordinator, stunt choreographer. But if you're doing like a shovel, you're not getting hit by a real shovel. Likely it's rubber or something that looks real. But when you get hit by a stunt or a shovel, like here's your face, and when you get hit, you kind of go with the punch. So on screen, it looks like, bam, you're getting hit. So you kind of have to act it through. You're not actually getting hit, but you got to really sell it. And it's really similar to kind of wrestling is what I always compare our injuries And a lot of our stunts is very similar to wrestling. We're really selling it, even though it's already choreographed and already planned out. But we don't want to get hurt, because if we get hurt, we don't have a paycheck.
So if I happen to book this, there'll be someone on set, is that a stunt coordinator, to walk me through everything?
As long as you're in a upstanding production, as long as you're in a production that's quality, there should definitely be something. With fights, like if you're doing a Marvel show and there's fight scenes, they're going to hire people that really know how to fight and are really specialized in that specific thing. I wasn't, so I didn't work in that. So like I did a escape plan with Schwarzenegger and Stallone, and I had some kickboxing experience, and there was just a lot of inmates, so I was able to flow and kind of fudge my way through some fight scenes. But you would probably definitely have to have experience fighting. I wouldn't suggest just going in there not knowing anything.
I got beat up every day from middle school to high school. Does that matter?
That's fair, right?
Unfortunately, I'm not kidding. So let me ask you this. Who is your favorite actor or actress to work with?
Ben Stiller. I always say Ben Stiller. I've worked with so many A-list actors, been around such awesome people. Set of Eastbound and Down, you had Danny McBride and Brooke Shields and Will Ferrell and all that stuff. But I worked on 2 projects with Ben Stiller. The second one, I had a conversation, the first one with him, just a brief conversation, just kind of casually talking about something. 2 years later, worked on a second project. As soon as he saw me, went right back into that conversation. And we're just talking about Ben Stiller here, man. He is A-list, top of the Mount Rushmore, and he remembered some conversation he had 2 years ago with me in passing. So that really meant so much to me and kind of reinstored how great Hollywood can be. But definitely Ben Stiller, man. He's wholesome. He's great.
I don't want to get any negativity, so I won't ask you who the worst actor you work with. We don't want any negative stuff, but I'm sure you've had some divas as well, right?
Definitely had some people that, I'm not going to say who, but yeah.
No, I know. I don't expect. I'm just saying, with Hollywood, you expect there to be great people and you expect there to be diva personalities. It's just how it is. So now with AI and the way things are, I'm a spokesperson, so now they've got AI spokespeople. They look like people. They talk perfectly. How concerned are you about the future? If kids want to get into being a stunt person, do you think there'll be stunt jobs in 20 years, or it's all going to be AI?
So the AI is definitely a concern. Walking Dead, later on in the series, at the beginning it was real practical and they had just tons of stuff, and later on they would have a handful of zombies and kind of multiply them in AI and kind of fill jobs without people being there. AI can kind of do jobs where it's kind of like self-checkout at the grocery store. No one's really working on there, but you can really do multiple jobs with the computer. But there's so much stuff out there, man. There's so many streaming platforms. There's so many shows. There's so much stuff for us to watch. That's just a ton of work that we will have. So, AI will start to take out pieces, but really good stuntmen have experience, have real good rapport with the production. I wouldn't worry about them. I think there's always work. There's just an influx of stuff nowadays that we didn't have when I started.
So nowadays, a lot of people are wearing the green screen suits with the balls that track your movement. So stuntmen are still needed to get in those suits and do that, right?
Yeah, definitely. And that's going to be more of your kind of superhero stuff and, real elaborate stunts and scenery going on. And those people are real specialized in that. And that's your specialized stuntman within that and whatever that calls for. And those people always have work. The practical's kind of going out with age, but you're just going to have to really find, I guess, in current times and moving on, you're really going to have to specialize in a certain thing and then just get work in that certain thing. So I guess it would be kind of harder to get a lot of general work. But if you're on a show, man, and it runs multiple seasons, you stay on that show, man. You don't go anywhere because it's hard to get consistent work. But and then also you got motion capture with green screen, which is video games, which video games are huge. So that's another line of work that people specialize in, and definitely a great form of kind of stunts and very different because it's motion capture.
Now, back in the 80s and 70s, being a stuntman was very glamorous. Did you watch The Fall Guy growing up?
I haven't seen it, and someone told me to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I haven't seen that either.
How old are you?
39.
Okay, so you're probably, I'm 51, so you're probably a little too young for The Fall Guy. But it was a really popular series, and I think late 70s where they really it was a show about a stuntman, and they really glorified it, which was big back then. So tell us now, like, what if someone's coming in, someone's like 20 years old and they want to get started in stunts, and this is just their dream, what would you be your advice to them?
Two things. Everyone always, I get people that ask me that, and they're always like, well, I'm waiting for that to happen. I'm waiting for this to come along. I'm waiting for this project. I'm waiting 2 years to build up this film that I'm supposed to be doing. Do your work, do independent work, make your own films, write, do lighting, do all that stuff, so you know when you get a job in stunts, you know what's going on and what's going on around you. So constantly have proof of work, so you can show people, hey, I can do this, and this is actually proof of work. As far as stunts, you're really going to have to be really, really good at one thing. Be really good. Just focus on one thing, whatever it is. Fighting or basketball or horse riding. Be really good at that one thing, and that's going to get your foot in the door, because now you're an expert at that. And then when you get to that, you get to know people in production, and it's all going to unravel. So you just get your foot in the door, really focus. You're competing against ex-Olympians, ex-athletes that are trying to get into stunts and have great experience. So focus on one thing, get really good at it, try to get a role in that, try to get stunts in that category, and then, man, it'll all unravel. You just got to focus, but do something while you're waiting. Make your own films, get independent films, never stay stagnant.
Now, you mentioned horseback riding. Are precision drivers considered stuntmen?
Yeah. Stunt drivers are definitely a huge thing. They don't really get much screen time at all because they're in a car covered. But those are people that they're going to seek out that specialize in that specific thing. You're not going to have a utility stuntman who's really good at a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to hire specific drivers for that thing. So that's huge. That would be a great thing to go into if you're interested in driving.
Okay, and are you a precision driver?
I have done quite a bit of stunt driving, so I have done that. I am not crazy skilled at precision driving to where if you need a really good stuntman to do a big action film, or you would want to hire someone specific for that. But any kind of general stunts, absolutely, I can definitely do driving scenes.
Okay. Now, I live in Colorado, and I've been trying to get roles, and I'm really not having a lot of luck, a lot of auditions. So I grew my hair long to try to separate myself from everybody else. And now I'm getting auditions, and a lot of them, since they're cowboy, pioneer, and a lot of them will say to me, at the end of your slate, say whether you have say if your horseback riding experience is basic, intermediate, or advanced. Now, so I didn't want to say nothing, so I went and took horseback riding lessons. We're talking about, this is like kids' pony stuff, like walking around like, do-do-do-do-do-do. I'm not doing any. So my fear is I'm going to say, I've been saying intermediate because I did a little bit of a trot. So my fear is, okay, let's say Yellowstone's like, hey, we want you audition. I do my audition. I say, I'm an intermediate horseback rider. And then I get to set. Am I going to look like a fool if I don't properly know how to handle this horse?
2 points. One, I used to live in Boulder, so I know it's really tough to find work there. But you're bordering Wyoming and Colorado, so definitely horses I could see being a concern with filming and all that. But you don't want to lie. You never, ever want to lie. If you're not good at something, own up to it and back out. Because when you go for something, you say, I'm really good at this, all these cameras and millions of dollars invested, everyone's ready to go, and you don't know what the hell you're doing, you will never work again.
I can't imagine that feeling on set. If everyone's looking at you and they're like, you said you could ride a horse, dude, and I'm like, there.
Yeah, you're not working.
Yeah, okay.
So never lie.
So I'd say if I can do like a trot and I can mount the horse, it's probably better to say basic than intermediate.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, Preston, I want to before we wrap up with you and to share your Instagram link, I want to move on to our Winter View giveaway. This is where we give away $25 to one of our lucky subscribers. If you're not signed up, there's no charge to sign up. Just go through winterview.win and you'll be put into the contest. Let's get started. Okay, guys, here we go. I've got 3 names right here for the Winter View giveaway, and Preston's going to help us. I've got Loredel Camacho, a new subscriber. Thanks for subscribing, Loredel. One of our longtime subscribers, Mr. Ben TV from the Philippines. And my buddy, Davis Wilson from here in my city, Castle Rock, Colorado. I'm going to put all these here folded up so Preston can't see. All right, pick a cup 1 through 3, Preston.
3.
3 is our most popular cup, as always. And the winner is Loredel Camacho. I'll be in touch with you. Congratulations for winning your $25 I'll be PayPaling you or sending you an Amazon gift card in the next 24 hours. Preston, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm going to put your IMDb and your Instagram down below just because it is phenomenal to see the amount of work you've done. If anybody wants to follow him, check it out. It's at stunt.beast. Preston, you're officially released from the Wolfe Den.
Thank you guys. Woo!